Have you ever been ashamed of something? It'd be something you did privately, or it could be something you did publicly. Because I know many of us have had to go through the troubles of feeling ashamed. I know I have. If having that feeling of loneliness, right, and hatred for yourself, really, and just guilt. The guilt of doing something you know you shouldn't do. The shame you feel for doing that. It's such an awful thing. Shame is one of the worst feelings, right? Feeling guilty is one of the worst feelings. I like to use those two kind of interchangeably sometimes. It's such a horrible feeling. You know, and you say, well, you know, if you do something privately and you feel ashamed, it's not as bad as being publicly shamed. I say to you, Woody, no. Because when the shame and the guilt you feel privately, even if no one else knows, is so overwhelming. It's so overwhelming. And you feel so alone, and you hate yourself, and you feel so guilty, and you tell yourself you're not worth it. But if we go to what Jesus said about that topic, there was the woman who was caught by the Pharisees for committing adultery, right? Sexual acts with another man while she was not married, while they were not married. And she was caught. So she was brought in front of the people, and the law of Moses said for her to be stoned to death. Publicly stoned to death for her actions. What a horrible way to go. And Jesus was there, and he simply went to the ground, knelt to the ground, wrote something in the dirt, and just said, go ahead and throw a stone at her if you haven't sinned. He's saying, if you haven't sinned, then go ahead and go throw a stone at her. Because he knows that every single person has sinned and has fallen short of God. So really everyone should be stoned themselves. And then Jesus went up to this woman and he said, I do not judge you guiltily. He's saying, I see you, I know you committed sin, but I don't judge you with guilt. Right? I don't judge you. But he says, sin no more. That's something that you can behold. Just right there. He goes, I'm not going to judge you. Okay? I'm not going to judge you, but sin no more. Right? The act of repenting will save you from that judgment. I'll tell you that much. Always remember that. Remember, you're never alone, and the Lord's not going to judge you if you go ahead and repent and work for the Lord. Thank you guys for watching today's video.